look, they say if you say you remember the 70s, you weren't there. But
the year was 1978. We were the hottest pleasure palace in Miami. The Mutiny Club. The cocaine wars stopped at our entrance. Drug dealers avoided killing each other because everyone was having too much fun. Enjoy your stay.
I'm liking the series, and I did some research. The Mutiny Hotel was a real hotel. I'm not from Miami, obviously. I'm from the West Coast. I know nothing about that world. So it's funny to see that, these are fictional characters, I'm assuming, but you're setting in a real setting, right? How much?
Fictional in this sense. A guy who worked with us on Narcos, Maurice Compte, his dad was Roman Compte, who was the general manager of the Mutiny Club. So Maurice told me about him, and I thought, well, this is interesting. This is a little bit like Casablanca, the movie Casablanca, but like with the war on drugs as the backdrop rather than World War II. So Roman is real. He did not have an older brother who was a heavy-duty coke dealer, though there were heavy-duty coke dealers all throughout the club, nor did he have the DEA forcing him to spy on his older brother. But really, that's just a central fictional conceit that gives us a drive. The rest of the characters are composites of real people. Like, for instance, the owner of the club was as kooky as the guy, as Mark Feuerstein, the character Mark Feuerstein plays. So I think we found a balance between capturing a particular time and place that existed, a club that actually existed, the characters who for the most part did exist there. And then our overlay was the thing that makes it a thriller.
So I did some research. The Mutiny Hotel is actually a real hotel. I'm sure you guys knew that because you guys are from Miami.
Yul frequented the hotel.
Yeah,
right? Yul was there all the time.
I was there constantly.
So my research was really all about, hey, Yul, what was it like being at the Mutiny?
And I would just tell him, oh yeah, I don't remember, because I was so out of my mind.
Yeah, which is only proof that he spent a lot of time there.
Exactly. The Mutiny was a place. I lived on Miami Beach. It's hard for you to explain this. We're both from Miami. If you're from Miami, you know the Mutiny, unless you're like 20 years old, and then you don't know the Mutiny, but you know the Mutiny. My sister went to the Mutiny a lot. So the Mutiny was a famous place because it was in a very nice part of town. It still is, called Coconut Grove, that when I was a kid buying records, I would go to the Grove, to the record stores in the Grove. So the Mutiny was a place that we always knew existed. It was kind of a diabolical place, a place of hedonism, and a place that really your parents told you to stay out of. So
a pleasure palace.
Yes, a pleasure palace, if you. So research, there's quite a few articles written about the Mutiny that I've read. I mean, there's no shortage of that. It's fodder for a lot of writing. So we'd read some articles and some things, and just being from Miami, we knew a lot of people that went to the Mutiny.
And the more stories you hear about that time, it seems like all those stories lead back to the Mutiny at some point.
I mean, the show's trippy. It really is, man. It's fun for those of us who, look, they say if you say you remember the 70s, you weren't there. But it might be a little blurry, but I have a vague remembrance of the 70s, and it's pretty cool.
And honestly, if I got to visit one era from history, that would be it. So I'm so thrilled I get to pretend I'm living in it in Hotel Cocaine. My character, Burton Greenberg, actually designed each unique room. I say unique hotel rooms, 140 of them. And to do that in the show, we have to have a brilliant art designer in Raimundo Cabrera.
What boutique hotel has the Alice in Wonderland suite?
Yeah, come on. Come on.
Perfect for drug decadence.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't know much of the time in Miami, what actually happened. I did have to watch a lot of documentaries and read a lot of stuff, because I come from Spain. So even like also the geographical distance was not just the time distance, but also geographical. So I was really surprised with how wild it was at that time. It was really wild in Miami. So yeah, that was a bit of a shock. On on the other hand, Marisol, which is the character I played, doesn't have much to do directly with that universe, but still, it was very interesting to learn about all of the time that was happening at that time.
Yeah, it was like the Wild West on steroids, and I had no idea. It couldn't be more crazy or wild. And there was a huge human cost to it too that I was very sobered by. And I was really drawn to the show because it encapsulates the fabulous, hedonistic, kind of just entertaining, intoxicating time, but never losing sight of the human cost of that, and just how tragic it was at the same time as it being wild and crazy and fun.
Yeah, you thought Scarface was, overdone, overacted, overdone, but it's actually that was the lifestyle. Then you're starting to learn, more and more, like, oh, that's actually what it was like.
Yeah,
back
and obviously
then.
for a drama, it's such fertile territory to play in a ever increasing high stakes drama situation.
I love the infamous celebrity cameos, Rick James, Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool little thing you put in there. How much fun did you have picking out little infamous characters from that time period?
Yeah, but that was real.
That's all
That
from
was
the
real.
research.
Oh, those are real actual celebrities who went there.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and so it was fun to cherry pick it. At a certain point, we actually had to decide to, pull it down because we could have actually made it like an old Aaron Spelling show of Hotel,
Yes.
where
The Love Boat.
like a new
Open the door. Here she comes.
like Fantasy Islands, but yeah, it was a great deal of fun to make, and we think it's entertaining and sexy, and we've got the disco and the Latin music. And we also had a lot of musical artists willing to contribute music to the song at just a fraction below what they normally charge. Because I think people, first of all, I think they probably were either at the mutiny or they certainly remember that period of the 70s fondly.
Well, thank you for your time. It blows my mind that this place was real.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We're so glad we get to
Mind
pretend
blowing.
we're living in it. Thank you, Lupe.